Prime Minister Boris Johnson is braced for a dramatic showdown with Donald Trump over plans to grant Chinese tech firm Huawei a role in building the UK's 5G network. The US president is said to have warned Johnson that giving the green light to Huawei would pose a serious risk to national security, sparking fears of a rift in the so-called special relationship between the US and the UK. Read more. British officials recommend limited 5G role for Huawei. Trump is understood to have suggested that the two nations build an alternative to the Chinese company together, the Sunday Times reported. The US has fronted a fierce campaign against Huawei, citing fears the company's kit could be used for spying by authorities in Beijing. Huawei has always denied the allegations. Nevertheless, Whitehall officials have reportedly recommended granting a limited role to the firm, stating that any risk to national security could be mitigated. All four major mobile providers have now launched their 5G networks using some Huawei equipment, and industry experts have warned a ban on Huawei would slow down the rollout of the next-generation network. The decision, expected on Tuesday, risks sparking anger across the pond, and 3 U.S. senators, including former presidential candidate Marco Rubio, are said to have written to the National Security Council urging ministers not to allow Huawei to build the UK's critical national infrastructure. Yesterday, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin reiterated concerns about the Chinese firm, while promising to dedicate a lot of resources to a US-UK trade deal this year if Britain needed its advice. In addition to the security concerns, Trump's administration has previously warned that any cooperation with Huawei could compromise intelligence sharing agreements between the US and the UK. The debate has also sparked a row in the cabinet, with Home Secretary Priti Patel and Defense Secretary Ben Wallace said to be on the warpath amid claims Johnson has been bounced into giving Huawei the green light. Patel today denied the claim, telling Sky News, "That's not accurate. You shouldn't take too literally what you're reading in the Sunday newspapers." Read more. Huawei, not the Huawei, for the sake of national security. However, other ministers have voiced concerns about the government's apparent decision to ignore warnings from U.S. counterparts. Writing in the Mail on Sunday today, Tom Tugendhat, who chaired the Foreign Affairs Select Committee in the last Parliament, said, "Huawei's 5G sets us on a path that undermines our autonomy and the repercussions could be grave." For more on this story, visit the news article link.